Rajalakshmi, Assistant Professor, Faculty of Agricultural Sciences, Bharat Institute of Higher Education and Research, and I am handling the course on Home Machinery and Power. And today we are going to discuss about internal combustion engine and its working, two and four stroke engine, their application, comparison, and we are going to discuss about the engine terminologies. So before going to deep into this topic, first we have to know what is meant by heat engine. So heat engine, which is an engine which is used to convert an heat energy into thermal energy. That is, which means, so we are burning the fuel. So those heat energy which will be converted into mechanical energy, which will be helped to run an engine. Okay, and there are two types of an engine. One is internal combustion and another one is external combustion. So based on this, where combustion will be take place. So if it is take place inside the engine, it is said to be an internal combustion engine. And if it is said, if the combustion will take place outside the engine cylinder, it is known to be the external combustion engine. So the example of an external combustion engine is steam engine. And in case of internal combustion engine, what we are using petrol engine, diesel engine. So everything comes under the classification of an internal combustion engine. So this is how an internal combustion engine works. So here it's the piston is getting moved. Here the reciprocating motion, that is up and down motion, which will be converted into the rotary motion. Okay, with the help of this connecting rod, these two the motion conversion will take place. So reciprocating motion is converted into the rotary motion. And next we are going to discuss about the classification of this heat engine. So there are heat engine means where it is used to convert the heat energy into thermal energy. So there are two types. One is external combustion and internal combustion. So internal combustion has been further classified into the three types. One is based on the fuel used. So what are the types of the fuel that is used inside the engine, which is known to be the classification under the base classification under the fuel used. Okay, and the first one is diesel engine. So diesel engine means here the fuel used is diesel, and next one is petrol engine where the fuel used is petrol, and another one is gas engine means nowadays gas engine also available. So these are all the three classification under the classification based on the fuel. Next one is classification based on ignition of the fuel. One is spark ignition engine and the other one is combustion ignition engine. So spark ignition means here the ignition which will be ignited, or else the ignition or else combustion will take place with the help of this spark. So spark plug will be provided. So with this ignition of the spark plug, this combustion will be takes place. Then one is compression ignition engine. So compression ignition engine means where the fuel is getting ignited due to the higher compression ratio. Then classification based on the working cycle. One is 4-stroke engine and the other one is 2-stroke engine. So 4-stroke means, so here let me explain it. Stroke means this is the movement of the piston from top dead center to the bottom dead center, which is known to be the stroke. Here due to this one, if the stroke happens 4 times in an engine cycle, this is known to be the 4-stroke engine. If the stroke which will happen 2 times, that is 2 times during the working operation, that is known to be the 2-stroke engine. So these are the classification of this heat engine. So these are also further classification, and based on the fuel used and based on the ignition and based on the number of the stroke, based on the cycle operation. So cycle operation means Otto cycle, diesel cycle and dual cycle. Otto cycle means that use the petrol as a fuel, and the diesel cycle means they are using the diesel as a fuel. And next one is dual cycle, they are using the both combination. Okay, and these are all known to be the classification of internal combustion engine. And first one is combustion based on the fuel. Based on the fuel. Here the working, what here is, so this is known to be the heat engine. What happens is here the combustion will be takes place. So water is getting boiled. So steam will be produced. Those steam which will helps to move the piston up or reciprocate, which helps to reciprocate the piston. So those reciprocating motion is finally converted into the rotary motion. So this is known to be this. This is the working of an steam engine. Here the combustion which will take place externally, that is outside the engine cylinder. So here this is the engine components, piston and crankshaft and the flywheel. So these are all the engine components where the combustion takes place outside. Okay, so these are all the examples of the internal combustion engine and external combustion engine. Then comes internal combustion engine. Here the combustion which will take place outside the engine cylinder, this is known to be the internal combustion engine, and where the combustion of the fuel takes place and the heat will be generated. So this is the heat added to the engine cylinder, and which leads to the increasing in the pressure. So what happens is higher air pressure which will moves the piston. So this piston is connected to the crankshaft by the help of this connecting rod, so which rotates this crankshaft. So thus the mechanical work is done. Okay, and there are two ways of combustion, and one is constant volume the cycle. Here due to this rapid explosion of this fuel when it is ignited by an electric spark, which is known to be the constant volume combustion, and the combustion which will take place by the slow burning. Due to this due to this higher compression ratio, or the higher compression ratio, the heat will be generated and the fuel is injected. So due to this heat energy, the fuel is getting burned. And here the slow burning of the fuel will be takes place. This is known to be the constant pressure combustion. So because the combustion will be takes place outside the engine cylinder. Here the combustion will be takes place at a constant pressure. This is known to be the constant pressure engine. Then comes let me explain the process of this internal combustion engine. First, there are 4 cycles happens. First one is suction. Suction means where the fuel is getting sucked. So let's look at this. Here, this is known to be the inlet valve, and this is known to be the exhaust valve. So inlet valve will open when this fuel is getting sucked, or else suction happens. So during this suction process, the inlet valve get open. Okay. And then one is compression process. So compression means the piston has to move upper direction, has to move in the upper direction. Then the fuel is getting compressed. And the third one is ignition, or else this is known to be the power stroke. So power stroke means the fuel is getting ignited with the help of this spark plug. So this shows that how this fuel is getting ignited. Yeah, this one. So the fuel is getting burned, and the fuel is and the exhaust gas which will move to the atmosphere with the help of this exhaust valve. Okay, so look at this: inlet valve opens, and then compressed gas is getting compressed here, and the fuel is getting ignited. After that, exhaust gases get escaped off from the engine. Okay, and this is known to be the cams. So let me explain it. So inlet valve. So these 2 valves are operated with the help of these timing gears. So timing gears which helps in the operation of this exhaust valve and the exhaust valve operation. So the exhaust and the inlet valve operation. So during this inlet or else suction, this inlet valve has to be open. So during the rest of this time, this has to be in the closed manner. Okay, and the exhaust valve has to be open when these during this exhaust stroke. So during this exhaust stroke, exhaust valve has to be open. So in order to control the opening and the closing, these timing gears will help. Okay, and these timing gears which will be connected to the crankshaft. So this crankshaft which will be connected to the piston by using the connecting rod. So this connecting rod having the 2 sides. One is topmost, that is small end side, and another one is big end side. So big end side will be connected to the crankshaft, and the smaller side will be connected to the piston, and the so these in turn rotates the flywheel. Okay, so these are all the construction of an IC engine. Then comes, so these are all the valves. So inlet and exhaust valve, and the cylindrical box. Cylinder is enclosed in this cylindrical block assembly, and the cylindrical liner. And this one is known to be the cylindrical head, the major covering portion of the cylinder, which is known to be the cylindrical head. And then it is connected to the piston pin, which is known to be the gut joint pin. And then this one is known to be the valve springs. So for an easiest to operation of this opening and the closing of the valve, so this will helps valve springs and this camshaft and connecting rod, flywheel. this flywheel has an important function in the case of an IC engine. So what happens here is the flywheel which acts as an energy reservoir. So as I have explained about the 4 strokes, so during this 4 stroke, third power stroke only the power is produced. So the fuel is getting burned. So those energy, that is thermal energy, which will be converted into the mechanical energy. So during the rest of these 3 strokes, the power will not be produced. So flywheel, which act as an energy reservoir, so it will helps to distribute the power during the rest of the stroke. So this is the function of this flywheel. Okay, and then so this is how this piston reciprocating motion. So it is getting moved to and fro motion. So these motion will be converted into the crankshaft. So crankshaft which will helps to in the converting the rotary motion. And the piston is reciprocating in the cylinder and it is fixed with the cylinder. So these rings are inserted and it will prevent the gas leakages. Okay, and there are piston rings also provided here. And this is working of an internal combustion engine. Combustion space means where the combustion processes takes place. This is known to be the combustion space. And the connecting rod which is connected to the piston by using the crankshaft. So at the end of this, so as I have explained earlier, it is having the 2 ends. One is top, lower, smaller end, and another one is the bigger end. So top, smaller end which will be connected to the piston, and the bigger end which will be connected to the crankshaft. Okay, and next one is crankshaft which will rotated in the main portion and which are fitted in the crankshaft. So this piston will get moved up and it will help to transfer the crankshaft by the connecting rod. So this shaft makes the rotary motion. And so I've explained earlier about this function of an internal combustion engine. So this 4 cycle process has to be taken place in the working principle of an IC engine. And then first one is suction, admission of an air, compression. So compression of this air and the fuel mixture, and ignition. So there are 2 types of ignition as I've explained earlier in the case of constant pressure and the constant volume. So in case of an petrol engine means there will be a carburetor which helps to mix the air and the fuel in the proper ratio. So air and the fuel which get entered. So there will in petrol engine there is a provision for spark plug. In the case of diesel engine, normally during this intake itself, the air will be admitted, pure air will be admitted. Then in the diesel engine, so it will be compressed at the very higher ratio, higher compression ratio. So due to this, there will be an increase in the pressure. So as for the pressure will get increased, simultaneously the temperature will start to increase. So due to this increase in temperature, the fuel is getting burned. Okay. So this is the 2 difference which will happen inside an IC engine. So this is how an engine will get works, the source. So this one is first one is suction, second one is compression as the fuel is getting compressed, and third one is exhaust, that's power stroke which will be produced here. And the 4th stroke is exhaust stroke. So the exhaust gases has to be escaped out. So let me explain. Inlet stroke, then air is getting inlet here. Second one is compression stroke, it getting compressed. So here spark plug, so which get ignited the fuel. So next the piston will get moved downwards. Then the exhaust stroke, the gas has to be escaped outside. Okay, and then the cylinder. Where it is a part where combustion process will be takes place. So it is a basic part of an engine, and it provides the space where which helps to operate the piston, and which helps to suck the air and the fuel mixture. And the piston compresses the charge, and the gas is getting allowed to expand and the transmitting power to the user. So normally these kinds of cylinder will be made up of high grade cast iron. Because the cast iron having the property that it will withstand a higher temperature and the pressure. So due to as this combustion process is taking place at a very higher temperature and the pressure, due to this reason, the cylinder is normally made up of a high grade cast iron. And the cylindrical block, it is a solid casting body which include the cylinder, and the water jacket will be surrounded here. And the cylinder head, so cylinder head means which is the function. Normally, it is a detachable portion which includes the combustion chamber, spark plug, injector, and the valves. So this is a cylinder head portion. And fourth one is cylindrical liner, which can be either wet or dry type liner, which is inserted into the cylinder. So dry type liner means where it is having a contact with the water jackets, or else it is having a contact with the cooling waters. And dry type liner, it doesn't have the contact, it has some metallic contact. And the piston, it is a cylindrical part. Normally it is made up of a cast iron. And so due to this force of this excitation, so during this power stroke, power will be produced, so which will forces the piston to move downward. So these are all the process which will be taken place in the piston. And the head means the top portion of the piston, and the skirt means the lower portion, the portion which is below the piston pin. So this piston is connected to the connecting rod with the help of the pin, which is known as the piston pin, or else it is known as the wrist pin or gut joint pin. And the piston rings, so which is placed inside the groove of the piston, which is usually made up of the cast iron and the pressed steel alloy. So usually it will form a gas tight chamber, and normal it will reduce the contact area between the cylindrical valve and the piston valves. Next, it will control the cylinder lubrication. So if excess oil present here means it will promote the cylindrical lubrication, and it will transmit the heat away from the piston. And there are two types of the piston rings. One is compression ring, next one is oil rings. So what this means by oil rings, normally there will be only one compression ring, rest of the oil rings are present here. And the piston pin, so as I explained earlier, normally it is made up of a hardened alloy. Then the connecting rod, this is having a two portions, and smaller end and the larger end. Normally it is made up of a dropped forged steel. And the crankshaft, so normally it will convert the reciprocating motion of the piston into the rotary motion of the flywheel. It is made up of a dropped forged steel. And whereas the space that supports the crankshaft in the cylindrical block is the main channel, whereas the portion which will connecting rod is attached is the crank channel. So the flywheel, it is normally made up of the cast iron, so it will act as an energy reservoir. Then it is having a ring gear that will measures with the pinion of the starting motor. It will have a rear surface that one side which is having a pressure surface for clutch plate. And the engine timings, so engine timings will be marked on this surface and stamped on this flywheel, which helps to adjusting the timing gears. And sometimes it will act as a pulley for transmission of the power. And the next one here, it is known to be the flywheel and the crankcase. So this is the crankcase. It is the portion, and it will support and closes the crankshaft and the camshaft, and it will act as a reservoir for storing the lubricating oil. Then it will help for the mounting of certain accessories such as oil pumps, oil filters, starting motors, ignition components. So upper portion of the crankcase is fitted with the cylindrical block. The lower portion of the crankcase is connected to the oil pan. So normally these kinds are made up of an cast iron or aluminium. Next one is camshaft. So this is known to be the timing gears. So camshaft will rotate half of the speed of the crankshaft in the four-stroke engine. This is because, let me explain the process. So crankshaft has to be operated two times. One is during the inlet. So during the inlet stroke, it has to open. During the exhaust stroke, it has to open the exhaust valve. So, and opening and the closing. So it has to perform 4 operations during this 2 cycles. So normally it will rotate the half of the speed of this crankshaft, and it is mounted on the crankshaft, which is parallel to the crankshaft. So this is a function, and the timing gears. So these are all the gears which will help in the opening and the closing of the inlet and exhaust valve. So it will consist of one set of one of the gear which is mounted at the one end of the crankshaft and the other end at the crankshaft. So camshaft gear is bigger than that of the size of the crankshaft gear, and it having the twice as much of the teeth. Normally, the gear is normally represented as an half timing gears. So it will control the timing of ignition, timing of opening and the closing of the valve, and such as fuel timing. And in case of inlet manifold, it has to, it is a part which in which air or else air fuel mixture get entered into the engine cylinder. And the exhaust manifold, it is a part where the exhaust gases which will get moved outside of the engine cylinder, and it has to withstand very higher temperature when compared to the exhaust manifold. This is because inlet manifold, the air will be at an atmospheric temperature, but in case of exhaust manifold, the burned gas is going to escape outside of the engine cylinder. This is due to this reason, it has to withstand a very higher temperature. And this one is top dead center. Top dead center means, so this one, so it is known to be the, so as you see, it's the top portion where the piston moves, it is known to be the top dead center. This one at the bottom of the stroke, which is known to be the bottom dead center. And two-stroke cycle, both sides of the piston are effective, but in case of four-stroke engine, one side, both sides will not be effective. So this is known to be the TDC. So movement of the piston from top dead center to the bottom dead center is known to be the stroke, and the diameter of the cylinder, which is known to be the bore. Sorry, scavenging. So normally scavenging means the removal of banned gases. So in case if the proper process of removing the banned gases outside of the engine cylinder. So during this exhaust stroke, entire banned gases has not been removed completely. Due to this, there will be a blower or suction type arrangement. So blower means what happens is it will blow the banned gases away from the engine cylinder. Suction means, so if it is present inside the engine cylinder, it will suck the banned gases or exhaust gases from the engine cylinder. So as you see, so this is the black one. So this shows that it will be removed here. So this is the way how it's get removed. And this one, inlet manifold, exhaust manifold, the clearance volume means in between when the piston is at the top of this top dead center and the clearance volume. So the space in between this cylinder head and the top dead center, which is known to be the clearance volume. Next one is on bore, which is known to be the diameter of the cylinder. Stroke means movement of the piston from top dead center to the bottom dead center. Stroke bore ratio means length by the diameter ratio. It will vary from an engine to the engine. It will have the ratio variation from 1 to 1.45. Normally for an engine, it will be around 1.25. And swept volume means area which is swept by the piston. So which is known to be the cross-section area of the piston, and L, which is the length of the stroke. Okay, so if you multiply with the area of the piston to the length of the stroke, which is known to be the swept volume. So compression ratio means which is the ratio between the volume of the charge at the beginning of the compression stroke and to that of the end of the compression stroke, which is known to be the clearance volume. Then the compression ratio, so as I explained earlier, diesel engine which will have an higher compression ratio, it will vary from 14:1 to 22:1. In the case of carburetor type, it will vary from 4:1 to 8:1. Power means it is the rate of doing the work. SI unit of the power is watt. So watt means joule, 1 watt means joule per second. So for 1 calories, which is equal to the 4.2 joules. Normally, in a metric power unit, the power is represented as an kg meter per second. Then indicated horsepower. Indicated horsepower means it is the power which is generated inside the engine cylinder and it is received by the piston. Normally, in the brake horsepower means which is the power which is available at the end of the crankshaft, and it is measured by using the suitable dynamometer. HP means 1 HP means 75 kg meter per second. Okay, then the belt horsepower means it is the power which is measured at the end of the suitable belt drive from the PTO shaft. And power takeoff horsepower means it is the power which is delivered by the tractor through the PTO shaft. Normally, belt and the PTO horsepower of the tractor will be approximately same. Then the drawbar horsepower means a power which is measured at the end of the drawbar. Normally, it is used to pull the loads. Then the frictional horsepower means power which is required to run the engine at the given speed without producing any useful works. Normally, indicated horsepower which is equal to the brake horsepower plus frictional horsepower. Then brake mean effective pressure means it is the average pressure acting through the entire power stroke which is necessary to provide the brake power of an engine. Okay. And there are 4 strokes: the suction stroke, compression, power stroke, and the exhaust stroke. So there are 2 cycles as we explained it. So for 4-stroke engine, we have discussed very deeply or else elaborately. Then in the case of 2-stroke engine, we have to discuss it. So normally 2 strokes means 2 movement of the piston simultaneously. So this 4 cycle has to be taken place in the 2 strokes of the piston. 4 cycles means first one suction and the compression which will take place in the first movement of the piston. Then the power and the exhaust stroke will be taken place in the second movement. So normally 2 strokes means it will take crankshaft to complete 1 revolution, and there will be no valve will be there, valve type arrangement. Normally the gas is exchanged by the movement of this port assembly. And here the crankcase has to be in a gas tight container in which this crankshaft will rotate. Then when the piston is at top of the cylinder, it will cover the one is exhaust port and the transfer port, and this will and the first stroke it will allows the fresh air mixture to enter in the engine cylinder. Then at the second stroke, the piston starts to compress the charge, and the further movement it will uncover the third port called suction port. So fresh air mixture is drawn to the port through the crankcase. So just before the end of the stroke, the mixture in the cylinder is ignited to the 4-stroke cycle. Then the second stroke is power versus exhaust. So power and the exhaust stroke. So the rise in the pressure which will causes the burning of the piston to move down. So when the piston goes down, it uncovers the suction port, and trapping mixture get drawn in the crankcase during the previous operation. So further movement, it will uncover the first exhaust port, then the transfer port. So this will allow the gases to move outside the exhaust port. So also the fresh air mixture under the pressure is transferred to the cylinder. So special shaped piston cone assembly will be there. This will deflect the incoming mixture from around the cylinder. Normally, when the piston is at the top of the stroke, which is said to be the top dead center and the bottom dead center, scavenging means it is the operation performed to remove the burn gases. And there is a comparison in between the 2-stroke and the 4-stroke engine. 2-stroke engine means 1 power stroke for the 2 revolutions and 1 power stroke for the each revolution. Then inlet and exhaust valve. So here the port will be there, and here it will not be, crankcase will not be completely airtight. Here it will be airtight, and the top of the piston compresses the start. Then the both side the compression will be takes place, and here the size of the wheel is comparatively larger. Here it will be smaller, and the fuel is fluid consumed. Here it will not be fully consumed, and the weight of the engine will be very high. And here the thermal efficiency of a 4-stroke engine is normally higher when compared to the 2-stroke engine. Then the removal of excess gases is very easy. Here it is a very tedious process, and the torque produced is very even. Here it will be less even. Okay. And it can be operated in only one direction, but it can be simultaneous. There will be 2 operations, both direction will be takes place. So this is how an diesel engine. So it will have 2 ports. One is air intake port and the exhaust port, and the compressed air which will get here entered here. Here it will. So this is how an diesel engine works. This was. And the diesel engine, it doesn't have a carburetor, ignition spark, and the spark plug. But then SI engine, it will have a carburetor, ignition, spark plug. And the compression ratio of the diesel engine is comparatively higher when compared to the spark ignition engine. Here diesel is used as a fuel, and the petrol is used as a fuel. And in case of diesel, only mixture is getting entered into the engine cylinder. In the case here, air and the fuel mixture. And here the fuel is not, it is having a fuel injection pump. This is because the fuel is getting sprayed, and it doesn't have a fuel injection assembly. Then the compression chamber, balling of the fuel will takes place, and it will have a higher thermal efficiency So comparatively, it doesn't have an higher thermal efficiency. Engine weight per horsepower is very higher. Engine weight per horsepower is here comparatively low. Operating cost of this diesel engine is very low. Here the operating cost will be very higher. And you can expect a higher compression ratio, higher pressure, and higher temperature in the case of the diesel engine. But here it will be comparatively lower.